President Trump made a surprise appearance at the UN Climate Summit today. He did not speak at the event. Instead, he listened intently as other world leaders voiced their concerns about climate change and the environment. Shortly after the event ended, Mr. Trump was asked why he decided to attend.
I'm a big believer in clean air and clean water, and all countries should get together and do that, and they should do it for themselves. Very, very important.
I want to bring back Paula, Reid, and Anita Kumar. Paula is a CBS News White House correspondent, and Anita is a White House correspondent and associate editor with Politico. Paula, let me start with you. What type of message do you think the president was trying to send by that impromptu appearance?
Well, he loves a good surprise, a good TV moment, right? And by showing up for an event that he was not expected to attend, he almost in some ways gets more credit than people who were just expected to be there. But it's interesting his comments at the end. This is kind of the new talking point that you're hearing out of the administration. They've received a lot of criticism that the Trump administration has abdicated the U.S.'s leadership role on climate change. Obviously, they pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords. But instead, recently, you've heard the EPA chief, now the president, suggesting it's not about climate change. We need to focus on air quality, ocean pollution. That's something the EPA chief has said. You're the president saying that here, too, as well. So it seems like they're not wanting the message to be out there that they don't care about the environment. It's just that they're focused on other issues that they believe are more pressing.
Such as perhaps religious freedom. Anita, the president convened a meeting on religious freedom today. Tell us about that. What did he say exactly?
Sure. He gave some remarks on that. And before we came to New York, before he came, the White House had told us that this was going to be his big speech. Obviously, he has a speech tomorrow, but a big push for him. And this is something the Vice President, Mike Pence, has really talked a lot about, has championed more really than the president. We were sort of joking that maybe the Vice President's office actually wrote the speech. But I think it's something that his base really wants to hear. It's very important to a lot of his supporters, and so it was something that he wanted to talk about. But I think the other thing that people were saying is it came about at the same time as the climate meeting, and a lot of people were saying, well, this was his excuse to sort of not go to this climate meeting. It was why everybody thought he would be skipping it, because he had another event.
Right. I'm curious, though, do you know whether he is going to be meeting with Iranian President Rouhani? Do we know? We heard he was not. Do we have any updates on that?
So it's not on the president's schedule, and you saw Iran say basically that they weren't wanting to do that. But President Trump has talked over and over about how he is willing to sit down and talk with them, talk to Iran, negotiate with them. He's been talking for 2+ years about wanting a new Iranian nuclear deal, that he wants to have some kind of agreement with them. And so he'd be willing to do it with no questions asked. That's sort of how he works, right? We saw him meet with the North Korean dictator in the same way, sort of let's sit down and talk, because we don't get anything done unless we talk about things.
He's always said a meeting is better than no meeting.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's sort of that business part of him coming into play here, where it's always better to just sit down and talk, because you might make a deal. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So Paula, he's expected to address the entire UN General Assembly tomorrow. Do we have any idea what the president's message will be?
Well, this is a tough crowd for the president. They've laughed at him in previous addresses. He's mocked their decor, their marble, but he is back. And we do expect another America First kind of message. Now, earlier today, he said he really wants to emphasize the economy. A couple days ago, he suggested that he was going to tell the UN about how great this country is, how great its leader, him, is. So I think it's going to be more of the same. They really haven't signaled too many of the other topics he wants to talk about. The one thing we have confirmed, though, is our State Department reporter has confirmed he will talk about Venezuela. But overall, I think you can expect the theme to be America First, along the lines of what we've seen him do in the past. But as we just said, you never know.
And he's probably not likely to address climate change at all.
Hey, he showed up at the climate change. I'm not going to say what he will or won't do relative to environmental policy. Even if they told me, I'll wait till he talks.
Right. Yes, we will have to wait and see. All right, Paula, Reid, Anita Kumar, thank you so much for that.